And good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to Focus on Stafford County here on 1590 KVGB. I'm your host, Steve Webster. We talk all about the great things going on in Stafford County to the south of us. And we're joined on the show today, as usual, by Carolyn Dunn. She is Stafford County Economic Development Director. Also, we'll hear from Sydney Blanton today. Sydney, a big part of the program down at Stafford County EcoDevo. She is the program director, and we'll hear from Sydney in today's show as well. First of all, Carolyn, happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for being on the program. I know a lot of exciting things continue to go on down in Stafford County, and I want to talk about today something that's going on next Tuesday, and it's the Stafford Community Improvement Fund and Hudson Community Improvement Fund event. And it's called Giving Tuesday, and this is taking place all throughout the Golden Belt. And I guess we'll start off and just talk about Giving Tuesday and the thought behind it, and what do you want to accomplish coming up next Tuesday?
Well, Giving Tuesday is a campaign through Golden Belt Community Foundation, and it's piggybacking off of kind of a larger national movement. We have a day for giving thanks. We have 2 days for getting deals. We give Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Well, some of the foundations around the country are then appealing that after thinking about what we get, we can also think about what we give on Giving Tuesday. And so here in the four-county region, Golden Belt Community Foundation is hosting a campaign, Giving Tuesday, where not only the contributions that people give to funds on that particular day will be matched with a $30,000 pool. So it's a great way to help build some of the capacity of the funds that affect you locally, and then also get a little bonus out of it, too. We have two funds in Stafford County that are set up for broad community improvement. One is the Hudson Community Improvement Fund. That's been set up for several years now. And one that we've just started here in the last couple months is the Stafford Community Improvement Fund. In both cases, these monies will be used for just broad, general improvement of the communities. It can be anything that a committee. There's a designated committee in both cases of people that will look around the town in that year and say, this is what we need this year. In the past year in Hudson, they made some improvements to the community hall that's used so much. And so that's something that I think a lot of people can appreciate. We have just basic interior renovations that went on there. In Stafford, it may be any number of things. One of the things I hear about sometimes is the idea that we'd like to have some new planters in the downtown area, just a bit of a sprucing up downtown. That might be one project. It might be any number of other things. But the first step is getting this fund built up a bit, and there's a good way to participate in that with Giving Tuesday. We'll have places set up on Tuesday where people can come and bring their contributions. I'll be here at the Stafford County Annex in St. John. And it does have to be a contribution given on that day to count as part of that match.
Carolyn Dunn, Economic Development Director for Stafford County, with us. And you gave us where people can go. I mean, do they got to stop by? Can they call? Or kind of talk about the process there, Carolyn?
Well, there's a $30,000 pool that's being provided by the Community Foundation, and gifts given on that day will be matched on a prorated, proportional basis relation to the total amount raised that day. So they do have to provide the funding on that day to count as a part of that match. So the best way to do it is to come see us in person. We'll be set up here in St. John. We'll also have two booths in Stafford, one at the Mercantile and one at Paul's Grocery. And, if you're not able to come on that day and want to make arrangements beforehand, call the Economic Development Office, and I'm glad to try to facilitate something if you're able to reach us on Monday. But really the best way to participate in this is to just join in the excitement of the event on Tuesday.
Okay, Carolyn Dunn is with us, and also we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back and talk to Sydney Blanton. And Carolyn, she's involved in this Giving Tuesday as well, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Sydney about that and some other things that she does as part of her title of Program Director for Stafford County Economic Development. We will do that right after this here on Focus on Stafford County on 1590 KVGB. Welcome back. It's Focus on Stafford County here on 1590 KVGB. We're talking with Carolyn Dunn about next Tuesday. It is Giving Tuesday, and Carolyn is going to be available for you to stop by, make a donation at Stafford County Annex. That is in St. John. Sydney Bland, Program Director for Stafford County Eco Devo, with us right now. Sydney, you're part of this big event on Tuesday as well. You excited about this?
I think it's going to be a great day.
I think so, too. Now, where will you be, and where can people stop by to make their contribution to you, Sydney?
I will be in Stafford, and there will be 2 locations in Stafford open. The Mercantile will be open at 10 a.m., which is where I will be, and then Paul's Grocery will have a booth at 7 a.m.
So people can just come by, say hi, and write a check. Who do they make the check out to?
They will make the check out to the Golden Belt Community Foundation, and with the memo and specification of what group they want to donate it to. I
guess this is neat. Stafford Community Improvement Fund and the Hudson Community Improvement Fund. So 2 different places that you can, 3 actually, 2 in Stafford. You get to 1 in St. John. So a big day coming up. It's Giving Tuesday on December 2nd. Sydney Blanton with us. She's Program Director for Stafford County Economic Development. And one of the things that Sydney does is a very successful program is the After School Entrepreneurship Program. And I know that you've got some products that people can purchase just in time for Christmas. What do you have?
Yes, we are selling candles and homemade hot cocoa. So we have been working with both the after-school programs in Stafford County, the Stafford Stars and the St. John Hudson Life after-school programs. And so in Stafford, they are making homemade cocoa, putting in decorated hot cocoa mugs, and then in St. John, they've been making candles.
Now, you did something like this last year, didn't you?
Yep, same thing.
And it went pretty well, so I guess you're coming back doing it. Talk about your entrepreneurship program and some of the ways kids get involved to begin with and advance on through the program as you go, Sydney.
Okay, so this is our 2nd year doing this program, and they have been working as a class to put these products together. So the students in each program have been developing their entrepreneurship skills through planning out how they are going to put the product together, calculating the financials, including material costs and profit, as well as estimating how much they plan to sell. So each group has a goal of what they want to sell this year.
How many groups do you have? I mean, do you pair the students up, or, I mean, how many students are in each group?
We have about, I want to say 10 in each group. So okay. 10 in each program, just 1 group in each program.
Why is entrepreneurship important, especially in small communities, Sydney?
One of our strategies is entrepreneurship and the grow your own method. So we really believe in developing the skills in our communities to start businesses here as opposed to trying to bring businesses in. And so we believe that it's important to build the strengths of our youth and show them what they can achieve and the possibilities that they have for them.
Okay, how can people how can people make their purchases? Tell me about where I can get this hot cocoa and some of these candles that are available for Christmas.
Well, upcoming, there's a Christmas concert on December 5th in Stafford, and that is where we will be selling the cocoa. And you can always reach out to us during the after-school program in Stafford or call me. I'll share my phone number in a minute. And then for the candles in St. John, we will be selling them at the home basketball games coming up on December 5th and December 19th.
What's the response been from the community, even going back to last year, Sydney?
Great. Everyone's interested. We already have some, can you hold this or put this many away? So It's been great.
Tell me about some of the other activities, Sydney, that the entrepreneurship program has participated in the past, besides, the hot cocoa and candles available. Tell me about some of the other initiatives and things that this group has done in the past 2 years.
Well, one of our things is showing them what opportunities that they can do, and that's starting their own business, and that could be starting their own pizza business or candles. And so we have taken them on tours. The businesses really like that, and they really appreciate having the kids come to their business, showing them around, kind of seeing how they do things. And then at the end of the year, last year, we took them to Wichita State and showed them the school, and we showed them the business department and the entrepreneurship program, and they really enjoyed that. And then we wrapped that up with some fun bowling, and it was really great.
There you go. Wichita State Shocker bringing kids back to her alma mater. I bet that was exciting for everybody.
Yeah, I'm a little biased. I really want them to go there.
Yeah, that is, what is a School of Entrepreneurship at Wichita State, or the School of Business, or tell me about the program at Wichita State.
They have a really great program. We took them there to see the entrepreneurship building, and they happen to be having one of their series where they bring business people in and they kind of interview them and have a little panel. So the students really got to learn from a business person about their daily successes and struggles.
Sydney Blanton with us, Program Director. Sydney, what's the most gratifying thing for you being in charge of this young entrepreneurship group?
Seeing the kids starting to understand basic business principles, hearing them tell me what they have learned throughout the year has been really great.
Sydney Blanton, have a great Thanksgiving, okay? We'll talk to you soon. Okay, Sydney Blanton with us here on Focus on Stafford County. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Carolyn Dunn about some other initiatives I know we've talked about on this program before. We'll get an update on the Port Authority, some tax credits still available, and there's still a good deal to be made in Maxville. That's coming up next here on Focus on Stafford County on 1590 KVGB. Welcome back to Focus on Stafford County here on 1590 KVGB. We just talked with Sydney Blanton, Program Director, about the great things with the entrepreneurship program going on in Stafford County. And now we're rejoined by Carolyn Dunn, Director of Stafford County EcoDevo. Carolyn, we want to give everyone an update today on the Port Authority project. No, we're not building a deep water seaport in Stafford County at all or anything like this. What the group that you're working with is trying to provide a place where business can come and locate, and not only locate there, but thrive there. This effort started over a year ago by getting, I guess you had to take it through the Kansas legislature, so the first approval, that got done. But now you've been working bylaws, things like that. So I guess it's kind of a broad question here. Well, Carolyn, kind of give us an update on where you're at right now with the Port Authority.
Well, it is a process that just takes some time, because it is something where, we're establishing a new public entity. And so that's the work of many, I guess. And it takes a little time, but I think it'll be well worth it when we have an industrial use facility that is interconnected with our transportation infrastructure here, and really provides a place where we can truly recruit business, have a place that is ready to go on transparent terms, and has some advantages that other industrial parks wouldn't have. Okay, so to get to that point, we have to do all the legalese stuff, and it's what stage we're in right now. It's not real visible, but we are still making progress on it. We're in the process of writing bylaws. In fact, we just had a meeting this week, and we've kind of made some adjustments to them and sent them back to the attorney, and we'll get those back. And then similarly, the law provides that we put out to the public the plan for development. What the purpose and objective of it is, how we're going to go about doing that, and how we're going to go about financing it, and all those kinds of things. So there's no surprises to the public. And we expect that the process that we'll have for that public comment will be in early 2015.
So this document, I mean, this the first thing you called it legalese. That's, but I understand that factor a lot. But when does, is anyone out identifying possible locations, or is this just all the legal process now of getting all the, T's crossed and I's dotted and things like that?
Right now, we're getting more the I's dotted and T's crossed. I mean, the next part will be trying to identify a location. I expect we'll probably just put it out there for basically requests for proposals and see if anyone that is a landowner is willing to sell a few acres to get it started.
Talk about the group that's involved with this and community leaders from across the county, Carolyn? Right.
There's 7 people that are on the board of directors. Clayton Grimmett is our chairman. I serve as secretary-treasurer, and others are Kurt Fairchild, Shane Steinmates, Mitch Holmes, Glenda Hernandez, and Kent Lamb. So we're grateful that volunteers will jump in and contribute to getting this started.
What kind of questions do you get from, the public about this Port Authority? I guess frequently asked questions, I guess we'll do. The frequently asked questions about the Port Authority.
I haven't had very many direct questions to me, but if anything that I'm hearing about is that people say, I heard that Port Authority has the power of eminent domain, mm-hmm. and that makes some people nervous. So, it is true, but I think it's one of those things where you need to know all of the truth to understand what that really means. So, yes, it can use eminent domain, but in a very specific, limited way. It doesn't just mean that the board of 7 people have blanket authority to, capture ground through eminent domain. So it has to go through a public process. First, it has to be a part of the development plan that I was referring to, that a certain area is going to be utilized for a certain purpose. Secondly, the board of commissioner, or the county commission, because in this case the county commission is what established the Port Authority. If you had a smaller, like a city Port Authority, it would be the city council, but in our case the county commission must approve that process first, and then 2/3 of the board of the Port Authority does. And even in that case, it can't be for any type of port expansion. It has to be only for, I think it's rights-of-way, franchises, easements, necessary for the proper construction and operation of the facility. It can't be for just industrial use expansion. So it's pretty limited. So
nothing to be scared about, right?
Right.
And sure, I understand that. People get concerned about that. And how would the Port Authority be funded once it was up and operational, Carolyn?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that we can go about doing things, and I think we're all thinking in terms of how can we do this in the way that makes the least amount of impact to taxpayers. One way is to assess property tax levies countywide. That's not going to happen overnight. There's a very specific process for being able to gather taxes, and it would really be about 2 years from now before we would actually be able to have revenue from that. So aside from the idea that we want to be very conservative in how we assess new taxes, that's not really going to help us overly quickly anyway, and we'd like to get this going. We'd like to actually get some business generating because of this. So other things that we're looking at are 2 or 3 different state and federal grants that we might be able to use. And the other thing is that we can borrow money and use the revenue from rent or leases to service that debt. And really, I think that most of the port should be, over time, pretty self-sufficient because of leases and revenue coming from user fees. anyway.
But this group can't unilaterally go out and raise property taxes. I mean,
there is a process of being able to assess property taxes, but the public has to vote on it first.
Sure, that's what I meant. That's it.
Right.
So it would be through the process where voters would be able to go to the polls and determine what they wanted with this. And again, this is so early in the process. I didn't want to get too far ahead of what's going on, but this is such an opportunity, it seems, for the county, Carolyn, because, talked about it before, but some of the advantages Stafford County has compared maybe to some other areas that are out recruiting, trying to recruit business and employment to their county.
I think that one of the main things we can offer as a kind of a competitive advantage of this would be the fact that we are at a kind of a transportation crossroads. So there's that, and one of the things, too, that we can work with as a port is that the property on a port is permanently tax exempt. Now, it doesn't mean that the tenants there don't kind of pull their weight in terms of contributing to what it costs to run things. They just aren't going to be necessarily doing it through property taxes. They're going to be doing it through again, user fees and leases and so forth. But part of the I think advantage of that for us as offering a port is that we can negotiate some of that, how that works, and we can maybe find a way that provides a good advantage to a potential tenant, and at the same time helps us pay for what we have to run the port and create jobs.
Carolyn, I appreciate your time today. Real quick, the tax credit still available? Wanting to help bring you closer to the next housing construction project in Stafford. The ones in Maxville are complete, but one unit still available for rent in Maxville. Right.
We do still have one unit available. So call me at 549-3527 if you're interested in that. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Open floor plan, energy efficient. I think it was fun. It was really fun to show the place because you really just sensed true excitement. And I think the people that are going to live there are going to be really excited about living there.
And you can be too by just getting that last one, right?
That's right. And we will be moving on to the town of Stafford in 2015. We did get an extra allocation of tax credits, which will bring us even further to the goal, closer to the goal to fully finance the second project. So we do have just a few of those tax credits left. Again, 549-3527. Give me a call if you're interested in taking advantage of those.
Carolyn, appreciate the time today, and we'll talk to you next month, and keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, Carolyn Dunn with us here today on Focus on Stafford County. Stay tuned. We've got more to come on this Thanksgiving Day. A lot of Dave Ramsey this afternoon will come your way, and, of course, later tonight, ESPN Radio. For 1590 KVGB, I'm Steve Webster.